Welcome to my channel if this is your first time here, and welcome back to my channel if you are a returning viewer. I'm Tara. As you can see by today's video, I just have a bit of a story for you. It's not going to be long, so just bear with me until the end. So there was a girl. Her name was Cherise. Cherise had a roommate. Cherise on this one day had decided, today for dinner, I'm gonna make myself that lovely lobster bisque that I've been thinking about, because I've got that lobster that I bought that I need to get rid of, so that's going to be my dinner today. But Cherise and her roommate shared food. It's just what they did. They had a fridge, they had cupboards that either one could just go into, and they did the weekly shop together and all that, so pretty standard stuff. Cherise's roommate comes back while Cherise is in the shower, sees the lobster, and actually decides they're gonna make themselves a pasta with some lobster, basically. Nothing complicated, it was just there. And they made it and they ate it. Cherise comes out of the shower now. She's ready to make this lobster bisque that she's been thinking about, and realizes, oh damn, there's no more lobster, it's all gone. Now Cherise at this point could have decided to just make something else. She can completely change recipes. There's other food in that house, but no, she wants lobster bisque. So instead, she makes the decision that she's going to go to the store instead, and obviously while she's there, get some other bits, but that doesn't really matter to the story. So Cherise takes her keys and gets into a car, and she's driving and she's going to the supermarket. However, before Cherise gets to the supermarket, she accidentally hits another lady in the road. Now this other lady in the road, she's called Priscilla. So Priscilla has now been hit by Cherise. Just a regular day, Cherise was going to the supermarket, Priscilla was doing whatever she was doing that day, something basic and human, and now she's been hit by a car. Priscilla now ends up going to hospital, where she actually has to stay in that hospital for a couple of months. She's looked after by Dr. Johnson, and her and Dr. Johnson actually end up falling in love. Dr. Johnson was young, he was single, and Priscilla was young, she was single, and they meet while she's in this hospital, and that actually ends up becoming her future husband. Now Priscilla is married to Dr. Johnson, and they have a child, a wonderful little girl we'll call Patchouli. They have their little daughter called Patchouli, and Patchouli is so smart. She's honestly one of the smartest people that any of them have ever met. Even Dr. Johnson, and he's a doctor, so he's used to being around a lot of smart people, but there's just something extraordinary about his daughter. Patchouli ends up growing up to be the scientist that actually figures out a way to stop global warming, a way to reverse it, a way to work with what we've done and actually make it work for us and make it work for the earth again. So Priscilla changes a life. She changes all of our lives. Now, you might be thinking, what is the point of this story? Where is that going? And the whole point of the story is, we get a lot of people. In fact, I would say that the majority of humanity at this point, if you were to ask them, what's your dream? If it's not a specific career, if it's not a specific thing you want to do, what is it? What is your dream? What is the one thing you'd love to have done before you died? And I think it's safe to say that most people, whether you've said it out loud, whether you've been asked the question or not, I think we could all agree that most of us would say we just want to have made some type of impact in the world. That's all most of us want, to just feel like our time on the earth made any iota of difference to the world. And what I want you to understand, the person watching this right now, is the moment you were born, you made an impact in this world. Do you realize that if you were not born, this world would literally be a completely different place? The decisions that you make every single day, no matter how small, no matter how big, you are having a ripple effect in the world that you will never be able to fathom. You will never be able to understand. No one will never even be able to say, here's the proof. But the smallest decision you make has the biggest ripple effect. You deciding to go to the store today, you deciding to go to work today, you deciding you're not going to go to work today, you deciding that you're going to have rice instead of pasta today, you deciding you're going to have leftovers instead of ordering food, you deciding you're going to order food instead of cook at home. All of these things that are mundane, all of these things that we do on a daily basis without even thinking about, ordering an Uber, speaking to a cashier, having a conversation with somebody you've sat next to on a bus or on a train. All of these little things that we take for granted, that we just do because we're just living life and we're just being. You are having such a ripple effect in this world. You are having such a massive impact in this world that you just will not be able to fathom ever. And even worse, if somebody even tried to actually show you the impact you've had in the world, your brain would probably explode. This is how much every little thing that we all do as human beings here affects everybody else. No matter how directly or indirectly that happens, everything makes such a big difference. This is knowledge that we seem to have. This is knowledge that is obvious. This is stuff that I'm not saying anything new. I'm not revolutionizing how people think about this. This is just what we know as fact. And yet every day you have millions of people in the world that feel like they are worthless, that feel like there is no need for them here. And I just want to remind whoever is watching this that you being alive, you being here, you making the smallest of decisions is so impactful on everyone. Whether we realize it or we don't, that is just a fact. You are so important to this world that if you weren't here, simply you, if you were not on this earth, if you were never born, our reality as we know it would be completely different. Completely. This might sound like mumbo jumbo. This might just sound like another, motivation video. But I'm just stating facts here. I just need you to remember that as you're watching this. Absolute fact. Even the fact that you exist, we forget this all the time. We are the rarest thing on this earth. The rarest thing on this earth. 1 in 4 trillion chance of you living. Do you understand how extremely rare that is? That is something that if we were likening to anything else, it just wouldn't happen. We just would never see it. But we're here. We are this proof that the impossible is possible. And you still sit there and you think you're worthless? Please, 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 please listen to what I'm saying. You could not be more worth it if you tried. You could not be more valuable. You could sit on your ass and do absolutely nothing all day, and that is still impacting. You are still making some type of difference. This should also make us mindful of the energy that we're putting out into the world, of how we are approaching the world and we approach the things around us. Of course, this should also put that in your mind, because lead with love, lead with light. But don't ever sit there and say you are worthless. Don't ever sit there and feel like you have no value. Don't ever let your mind or anyone around you convince you of just anything that is below how wonderful it is that you exist and how much of an impact you have. You are valuable and you are loved. Even if it's not by the people around you, even if it's not by the people that know they love you. Again, remember, our reality would be completely different if you didn't exist. Completely different. That one decision that you make that means nothing to you has a ripple effect, and we are always impacting the world. We are always impacting the world. If your dream and your one and only thing in life was that you want to have lived a life that had an impact on the earth and the universe and the people that lived in it, you've already lived your dream. You've done it. Because you being born was exactly that impact. Everything you do every day is that impact. Please remember how worthy you are. Remember how valuable you really are. And have a wonderful, wonderful rest of the week, month, year, lifetime. Love, light, and remembering what a gem you are and how much we need you. Have a great one.